In workshop number 4, we're going to see Wiki Commons, which is another wiki that is like Wikidata. It's a wiki that is useful for all the other wikis. So basically, Wiki Commons serve to share data. So in part 1, we're going to see what are namespaces, and particularly the namespaces in Wiki Common. But we'll also see that namespaces are common to all the wikis. We'll see in part 2 the system, the OTRS system, the open source ticket request system, which is the way you can tell Wikimedia Foundation that you are allowed to share a document. We've seen in part 3 how to import an image into Wiki Common. Part 4 will be about how to add in Wikidata information that is used on Wiki Common. So it's part number 4 will be from Wikidata, but using Wiki Commons data information. And we'll see at the last part what is media info, which is also called structured data. So that's about it for the information of this workshop. So here's a brief, Wikidata provides storage for structured data on all Wikimedia sister projects. So basically, Wikidata, like we've seen, is a wiki that is useful to all the other wikis because it manages structured data for all Wikimedia projects. Now, Wiki Commons is also a wiki that is useful to all the other wikis, but actually it provides content for other Wikimedia Foundation sister projects. This content is usually a visual content, but it could be other sort of content. It could be a PDF, an example. Okay, so that's about the overview of this workshop. So we'll start now with the first part, the namespaces. So basically, here I'm going to give you some basic information so that you can understand what is composed a wiki. What is composing a wiki? So it's really this is the very technical part, and it's okay if you don't really remember everything. It's just to print a big picture of how a wiki is structured. So first thing is, MediaWiki is the software behind all the wikis that we see and we use. It's a software that the Wikimedia Foundation helps to develop, but it doesn't belong to the Wikimedia Foundation, and it's totally separate from the Wikimedia Foundation. Now, MediaWiki is a software, just like WordPress is a software. But so that means that you can install on the same machine, you can install many wikis, which are actually many versions, many instances of MediaWiki. An instance is one installation of MediaWiki. So it's a single wiki. Like Wikidata is an instance of MediaWiki. Wiki Commons is an instance of MediaWiki. All the Wikipedias are actually different instances of MediaWiki. So an instance is really a single wiki. Just like somebody could install many WordPresses on a server, somebody can install many wikis on the same server. Now, these wiki, at the start, they don't talk to each other, but you can install extensions on the wiki, and those extensions will add functionality, like the sharing of the files of Wiki Common to every other wiki. So that means every other wiki has to have an extension that knows how to get files from Wiki Common. So that it's basically terminology. It's not very important to use wikis, but it's important to understand. Another thing, another extension that is very important when we talk about Wikidata is the Wikibase extension. And this is important because we will see today that actually Wiki Commons is actually also a Wikidata. It does have Wikibase, it does have like a Wikidata inside, but it's really only to give description on images. It's not like Wikidata that has general information. So it's really structured. It's a knowledge base for images in Wiki Commons. Okay. Now, inside one wiki, we have namespaces. This is something that you have seen throughout the workshops, but I haven't really explained it. So let's see. We had some web pages of Wiki starts with file, special, categories. We've seen special when we try to use the tool to merge two Wikidata items. It was in the special page. So let's go. Let's go and see that. So what I'm doing is I'm going into a specific file, and here a specific picture on Wiki Commons, and here we see the name is preceded by files, semicolons, and then the name of the file. And you can also see in your URL that we have this here. If we go into special pages here on the left, you have the special pages where there's tool. You can see that the pages, they all start with special semicolon. So basically, and let's go to the root here of the Wiki Commons, and we see here we don't have a namespace, but actually this is like the main namespace. When there's no namespace that are written, it's the default one. It's the main namespace. So namespaces are used quite a lot, and I will go back to the slide here. And one thing to understand is that there are namespaces that are common to all the media wiki, so all wikis. The file is one, special is one. There's also categories, there's template, and there's help, and there's a few others. But those are the main one you will use and you will see. Also, there is a special namespace which is called which is the same name as the wiki. So let's take an example here. Let's go. If we go into WIKIDATA, now you see that the main page is actually in the WIKIDATA namespace. So, and you can find that on Wikipedia French, on Wikipedia English. There'll also always be a namespace that is about the wiki in itself. So namespaces are ways for a wiki to group pages that have the same functionalities together. So let's go further here. Yes, so that's about, that's the basic concept of namespaces. Now, there's also other things I want to briefly talk to you about, but I will not delve into details with you. Is when you use multiple wikis, like the foundation is doing, it's possible to do links between wikis. So this is a link that will get you to my user page on Wikipedia French. So the W first is for Wikipedia, then there's French, and then there's the namespace utilisateur, which is actually the user namespace, also a common namespace on all the wikis. And then this is my name. So this could be put either in Wiki Commons or in Wikidata, and it would ship people to my user page on the French Wikipedia. So this is a link. And there's also So basically, the way Wikicommons work is that it will make its file namespace available to all the other wikis. So let's say you're in Wikipedia in English and you ask for a picture. So you're going to write file, semicolon, and the name. The first thing the wiki will do is try to find the file on its own wiki. Now, if it's not locally there, then if the extension for Wikicommons is installed, then it will go into Wikicommons and it will find the same file name. And of course, it will display it if it finds it. So the logic is if you have a file on your local wiki, it's going to be the file used. But if you use a name of a file and it's not locally existent, then it will try to see if it does exist on Wikicommons, and if it does, it will show it to you. So basically, Wikicommons is just like a backup for the file namespace of every wiki. One thing that is interesting about the file namespace and the files it can receive is that it can be configured differently on each wiki. For Wikicommons, there's a lot of different types that are possible to use to upload files. But for the purpose of this workshop, we're going to restrain ourselves to images, videos, and PDF. But there could be other formats. I usually recommend that you use a common image format like JPEG when it's possible. Now, there's also a particular namespace, and it's something that is available in all wikis, and it's something that we haven't talked in the precedent workshops. It's the template namespace. Now, the template is very different and very powerful. It does actually have two purposes. One is to control the way information is entered or stored on the wiki page. And two, it changes the way this information is displayed. So that's why it's sometimes called a formatter. So it will format your data so that it can be displayed in the most optimal way it can be done. We'll see that because we will not go, the templates are very powerful and so quite complex, but in Wikicommons, they're used a lot, but they're used to separate information and to make the information more manageable for automated process, but still it's not as good as Wikidata. And that is why they are moving actually, they're trying to move a bit away from templates and using media info, which is inside Wikicommons, which is the Wikidata inside Wikicommons. But let's stay simple here at this level, and let's just say that we use templates to separate the information that is entered. Now, this is very, I really want to show you this because it's actually a bit complex just said like this, but when you see it visually, it's very, very simple. So templates are called with double bracket like this. So this is one an internal that I will not discuss template that is used, and it's used to generate the title. Now, the template that's very important for this file is the information template. Now we can see this is the title, and we see that in the template call, we see that we use the pipe character, and the pipe character is actually a delimiter. So it could be on the same name now line, like this could be information, pipe, description, and this would be valid. But for humans, we like to put sometimes a new line for every entry inside a template. So basically, this is the name of the template. This is a named parameter of the template. So information template as description, as date, as source, as author, as permission, and as other version. So we see that what we see as a few lines in the web page is actually a call to a template with parameters and values for these parameters. So, this is also something very interesting about templates, is that templates can be actually embedded into another templates. So here we can see that we have a new template that starts, and this template says, well, I'm English language. So this template will get you English. It actually defines that what the information that is following is the English language, and we have another one just after, which is French. And so basically that way this information can be parsed, and only the French version or English version can be parsed by the tools. Now we see we have date, and date, of course, is standard. So this is international format with year, month, day, and the time. We see that we have source, so who's provided the picture. We have the author, so which is actually the photographer, permission, and so if we go at in the viewing mode of this page. So basically here we see that this is the information template. Now the first parameter is description, and we see that we have inner template for English data, French data. We see that we have the date parameter for the information template. So, and we see that this date is actually rendered with text, whereas when it was here, it was entered as a numerical value, but by the template it knows we're looking at it in English, so it's changed it for text, English text. And we have the source and we have the author here. So basically all this box here is represented by this call to a template, and we see that the information is cut inside into many pieces, which enables it to display it like this. And of course, it could be displayed any other way because the template has the information and can control the rendering, the visual rendering. Okay, so let's go back to the slides here. So yeah, simple purpose of setting and separating a bulk of data into separate, simple, and defined piece of information. So that's basically the main use of templates into Wiki Commons. Okay, so namespace in Wiki Commons. So the basic namespace, the one which has no namespace given, is the galleries. So if we go back here, the Nutcracker. Whoops, not sure. Let's. So here you see that search in is actually the namespaces. So we've seen in the past that we could change the way Wikidata was searching, and we could search in properties or just elements. Well, this is actually namespaces. So let's remove all this and let's try to search. Let's try to So I just did that to get back to the text here now, and I just want to find, search into gallery. So let's ask him. No, I know it's there, but I'm really having it. Let's try it just not directly like this.
That's not a problem, Mouseband. I think we can move on and look
Yes,
at the following slides.
I'm sorry. I would have loved to show you one, but it's the galleries are less used. Now we have the file here, namespace, like we talked. So every document is actually related to the file namespace. So every document you will upload to Wiki Commons will have a file semicolon. The categories are actually the categories are kind of like galleries. But the thing is, categories, they are automatically built. So categories are very useful in the sense that it enables to group by pages or files which has the same subject into a common. So let's take here our example of the picture of Maiko, sorry. And then if we go at the end here, you will see that there are categories. Now, this red category, it means I've assigned it to this category, but the page doesn't exist yet. But I also done the same thing, saying that she was actually a theater director from Canada. So this is another category. You can add category just by clicking on the plus here, and you can start to type your text, and you will see like the names of the categories that will be shown. You can also with the dash, the minus sign, you can remove a category that is actually, and you see you see remove below. So basically, if we click on this, we will enter the category. So here we see the namespace category in the URL. We also see it in the title of the page. So we know that we are in a category. And then we can see that our picture here is assigned to this category. So, actually, if the category Maiko Yamamoto was created, it would be also assigned to this category of theater director from Canada. So we would see it here. We can actually go inside of one of them, and then you see that. So categories are actually bringing together this is a category that is called Denise Filiatro. So all the pictures of the Denise Filiatro, when they are assigned to this category, gets regrouped into this page. So category is a very useful namespace for regrouping. And there's also the creator namespace, which is where there are pages about creators. But this is, we will not look too much at that. So let's come back to this file namespace. Now we see here the same file semicolon and the name of the picture we've seen earlier on. We also see here, this is the same image, but it's used into Wikidata. So we see that the file namespace that precedes the name is not used when we do assignments from Wikidata. So it's important to understand that sometimes namespaces are eluded, even though they really belong to the name of the page. And so galleries, here are example of galleries. I was going too fast. So this one, so you see here, there's no namespace. And this is a gallery about salle de spectacle in Montreal. So shows places in Montreal. And now if we go, the difference between a category and a gallery is that in categories, those would be built automatically. But when you're doing galleries, it's all edited by a human. So basically what you do is here in the wiki code, you say, I have a gallery, and you put the links to the images inside inside the wiki code. So this is an example of a gallery, not to mistake with, categories, even though they're very, very similar. There's a link here that explains in more details how you use categories. And yeah, categories are like gallery pages, but they are compiled automatically instead of using built-in like in galleries. They are so and this is an example of a category, but this one is the Nutcracker. But it's the category, it's not a gallery, because the gallery also exists, but it doesn't have the same name. Yeah, that's the thing. But so this can be mistaken galleries and categories. Now that's here what I've shown you about adding the minus will remove a category. If the category is in red, it means that the page hasn't been created yet. But once you create it, every image or every document that is assigned to this category will automatically display them. Actually, I could do it to show you. So this is a category that doesn't exist. So if we go into the category, it will ask us to create a new page. But we can already see in the preview that it's enabled, it can grab this picture. And you don't have to put text into categories when we create one, but if you don't put some, if you do not create a header above, it would just say it's empty. So you have to save twice the page, and then it will accept to create an empty page. But still, since it's a category, it will create it will show you the picture assigned to these categories. So, and there's a creator namespace, like I said. The creator namespace is about the artist who created the work being represented. So usually photographs are not creators, even though they are the people that creates the picture. They are not usually the creator of the works that being represented. And so creators is really like for the people who creates what is represented, what is depicted. So this is the end of part 1.